Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
So today we're going to be digging into a really interesting passage
Yeah.
from Galatians,
Right.
specifically Galatians 6.9. It's all about perseverance
Yeah.
when it comes to doing good,
Yeah.
like how do we keep going
Right.
even when we're not seeing the results?
Absolutely. Big question.
And, for context for our listeners,
Yeah.
we're diving into this letter from Paul,
Yeah.
pretty key figure in early Christianity, right?
Oh, hugely. Yeah.
And he's writing to the Galatians, and they were wrestling with some, questions about faith and works and all that.
Yeah, it's a classic.
It's a classic theological debate. Right?
Yeah.
And I think this passage offers some, really timeless wisdom,
For sure.
for everyone, no matter what you believe. So, this idea of pushing forward even when you don't see the immediate results.
Like instant gratification.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
hard, right?
It is a challenge we all face, I think, in a lot of areas of life.
Totally. And the passage itself, it actually says, let us not become weary in doing good.
Okay.
For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. I mean, weary, that's putting it mildly.
That's an understatement.
Right. Sometimes it feels like an uphill battle, even when you're trying to do good. You know what I mean?
Totally. Totally. You're putting in the effort and you're not seeing anything.
Yeah. It's like, where's the payoff,
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the passage actually acknowledges that feeling,
Right.
Like it gets that we feel that way.
It normalizes it. It says, hey, this is part of the deal.
It's really, yeah. And I think a lot of us can relate to that,
Oh, for sure.
that feeling of just like, is this even, am I even making a dent?
It's so easy to get discouraged when you feel like your efforts are just disappearing.
Yeah, into the void, like a
Yeah.
black hole of good intentions.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. But then the passage brings up this really, I think, key idea of proper time.
Yeah.
This idea that there's a natural rhythm to things.
It's like a seasonality.
Yeah, like a season for planting.
Planting and
And a
regrowth.
season for reaping.
Exactly.
And it's not always, immediate.
Right. You can't just plant a seed and expect a tomato the next day.
No, exactly. It's like you got to be patient. You got to nurture it.
You got to tend the soil, got to give it water, got to give it sunlight.
Yeah, and trust that the process is working.
Trust. Yeah. And that's hard,
It is hard.
especially in our world where everything is so instant.
Right. We want everything now.
Exactly.
But some things, they just take time. And this idea of proper time, I think, really speaks to that.
Yeah, for sure. And that applies to, all kinds of things, not just gardening.
Absolutely. Relationships,
Yeah.
careers,
Personal growth.
all
Love
it. It all takes time, and there's a natural rhythm to it. It's so true. Which brings us to this other really intriguing word in the passage, the harvest.
Right.
I've got this proper time.
Yeah.
Then we've got this harvest. So, what does that actually look like? Is it
Yeah.
always about some big, visible outcome?
Right.
Or could it be something more, internal? Something that's happening within us?
I think it can be both.
Okay, yeah?
I think often we fixate on those external things, the tangible,
Yeah, the rewards.
the rewards, the recognition.
Yeah.
But sometimes the most significant harvest is what's happening inside of us.
Interesting.
Like the patience we develop, the resilience we build,
Okay.
the compassion that grows within us, even when we're faced with setbacks.
Right, even when things are hard.
Exactly. Those are all forms of harvest.
I like that. It's like
Yeah.
those experiences, those moments of struggle,
Yeah.
you're like, they become the fertilizer that it helps us grow,
Okay.
even if no one else sees it, We've changed. We've evolved.
You're not the same person you were before you went through that.
Right, exactly. And that inner transformation, it has ripple effects.
It does.
Right? It impacts how we interact with the world.
How we treat other people.
Yeah, how we show up in our daily lives.
It changes everything.
Totally. And the source we're looking at really emphasizes that.
Yeah.
It's encouraging us to keep doing good because eventually we will see those, quote, fruits of our labor.
Yeah. That's a key takeaway.
So, okay, here's the million-dollar question. How do we actually do that?
Right.
How do we keep going when we feel like our efforts are making, zero difference?
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a conscious effort, I think, to shift our focus. Instead of obsessing over the outcome, what if we focused on the process?
Okay.
Find joy in the act of doing good itself.
Yeah, find joy in the planting.
Exactly. And celebrate those small victories.
Yeah, the little things.
The little things, they matter.
They do.
Hmm.
I love that because sometimes just a simple act of kindness,
Mm-hmm.
it can be like a seed that sparks something way bigger than ourselves.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
surrounding ourselves with, supportive people,
Good people.
people who share our values, that can make a huge
It's
difference.
like we're all planting seeds together, right?
Right.
Creating this garden of like positive change, one small act at a time.
Yeah, I like that image.
Right. The harvest might not be immediate,
It takes time.
but it's coming, both
Mm.
within ourselves
Mhm.
and in the world around us.
So it kind of makes you wonder,
Mm.
what seeds are you planting in your life right now?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And what kind of harvest do you hope to see in the future?
That's a powerful question to think about, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for diving deep with us today.
Absolutely.
I hope this conversation has, sparked some thoughts
Yeah.
and maybe, renewed your commitment
To doing good,
to doing good, even when it's tough, right?
even when it's hard.
So until next time, keep exploring.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.